just in. If you have ever had your phone ring before breakfast with an unknown number, only to be met with a threatening robotic voice demanding payment for a debt you barely remember, congratulations, you have officially entered the terrifying new era of automated extortion. Debt collection has always been an aggressively predatory industry, but lately something far more sinister has shifted. Agencies are no longer just relying on underpaid call center workers to harass you. They are weaponizing AI-powered contact systems to reach more people more often in more invasive formats than ever before. But here is the brilliant twist. Before you let an algorithm panic you into handing over your banking details, you need to understand the actual legal landscape because South African law gives you significantly more protection than the debt collectors want you to know. As a StoryBrand certified guide, I spend my life helping businesses build profound, undeniable trust with their customers. But if your industry is actively deploying automated robots to harass, trick, and extort people, you are entirely destroying that trust. In this video, we are going to rip apart exactly how these companies are using AI to exploit you and the massive legal loopholes they are hiding, and why refusing to act like a sociopathic chatbot is your ultimate business advantage. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Vicky Sidler, a StoryBrand certified guide and duct tape marketing strategist from the Strategic Marketing Tribe. And I help small business owners like you build failure-proof marketing by focusing on the exact 20% of effort that drives 80% of the results. All so that your marketing stops feeling like a miserable second job you never asked for. I believe your absolute greatest competitive advantage is simply sounding undeniably human. And your greatest currency is basic trust. Because, let's be honest, if your business communicates with customers like a hostile, automated debt collector, they will run screaming to your competitors. You must establish secure, undeniable human authority. So download my 5-minute marketing fix to craft a powerful StoryBrand one-liner that proves you are a living, breathing human being who actually cares about solving their problems. Okay, now with all of that out of the way, who exactly is threatening you over the phone? If you think the person screaming at you on the other end of the line is a powerful government official, you are probably giving a highly unethical spreadsheet far too much credit. Not everyone who contacts you about a debt has the same legal authority, and the differences are massive. First, you have registered debt collectors who must be legally registered with the Council for Debt Collectors, or the CDC. If they cannot produce proof of this registration, they are committing a criminal offense. Second, you have attorneys and law firms who are exempt from CDC registration, but are bound by the Law Society. Finally, and this is the most dangerous group, you have debt buyers. These are agencies that buy vast portfolios of unpaid debt for cents on the rand and then relentlessly harass you for the full amount. Just because a new, terrifying sounding agency is suddenly texting you does not mean your original debt has magically grown or become legally valid again. They are just hoping you don't know your rights, and they are using AI to cast an impossibly wide net to find the people who will panic and pay. But why are they so desperate to make you panic and pay? Because they are racing against a magical, legally binding expiration date that instantly wipes out their power, and they are terrified you might find out about it. It is called prescribed debt, and it is the most deliberately misunderstood concept in South African consumer credit law. Under the Prescription Act 68 of 1969, many debts simply expire after a set period if they go unacknowledged. Once a debt is prescribed, it is legally unenforceable. They cannot take you to court. They cannot get a judgment against you. And under the 2015 National Credit Amendment Act, they cannot even attempt to collect it without explicitly telling you in writing that the debt has prescribed. Here is exactly how long those collectors have before your debt legally evaporates into the ether. So most consumer debt like credit cards, personal loans, retail accounts, and vehicle finance prescribe in 3 years. Debts based on bills of exchange or notarial contracts prescribe in 6 years. And state debts like loans and land sales by the state prescribe in 15 years, while mortgage bonds, judgment debts, and tax prescribe in 30 years. But here is the cynical catch, and the exact reason they are using AI to relentlessly spam your phone. That 3-year clock resets to 0 the absolute second you make a tiny payment or acknowledge the debt verbally. This is exactly what the debt collectors are exploiting. They will use a friendly sounding AI voice bot to get you to casually say, yes, I know I owe that, and boom, you are legally on the hook again. But what are they legally allowed to do to you? Debt collectors operate on a foundation of terror, heavily implying that if you do not pay them immediately, a SWAT team is going to kick down your door and take your television. The reality is much more boring. Legally, they can contact you during reasonable hours, negotiate payment plans, add legally prescribed fees, and instruct attorneys to issue a summons. They can only garnish your salary or attach your property if they have a valid actual court judgment. What they cannot do is impersonate law enforcement, threaten you with arrest, and by the way, you cannot be arrested for civil debt in South Africa. They cannot call your employer to shame you, use abusive language, or present fake court documents. They also cannot add infinite interest. The in duplum rule legally caps total interest at the amount of your outstanding principal. If a collector does any of these things, they aren't just being mean, they are aggressively breaking the law. But now, how are the tech bros weaponizing your debt? As if dealing with aggressive call centers wasn't bad enough, the tech industry has decided to fully automate your financial anxiety. Debt collection agencies are now unleashing AI-powered contact systems, which include chatbots, automated voice calls, and relentless SMS campaigns, capable of harassing thousands of people simultaneously at a fraction of the cost. Because the AI is so cheap, agencies can now ruthlessly pursue tiny, incredibly old debts that previously weren't worth the human labor cost. Furthermore, fraudsters are now using deepfake voice cloning to perfectly impersonate banks and legitimate agencies, causing complaints to the National Financial Ombudsman scheme to absolutely skyrocket. South Africa's PPIA, or Protection of Personal Information Act, is your shield here. Section 71 in brackets 1 restricts automated decision-making that has legal consequences. If an unfeeling AI system is blindly profiling you, making threats, and demanding payments without any human oversight, that is a massive PPIA compliance violation. So how do you survive this automated extortion? Well, when a robotic voice calls you at 6 a.m. threatening financial ruin, your natural human instinct is to panic. But you actually hold all the legal cards if you refuse to play their game. So here is your step-by-step survival guide to shutting down the automated extortion. Number 1, say absolutely nothing. Do not confirm your name, do not admit to owing anything, and do not make a goodwill payment. Silence is your armor. Number 2, demand the receipts. Legally request the original credit agreement and a full breakdown of fees in writing. Number 3, check the clock. Calculate 3 years from your last payment. If it has been longer, it might be prescribed. Do not pay a cent until you verify. Number 4, set the boundaries. Tell them you will only communicate in writing and forbid them from calling your workplace. And number 5, check their badge. Demand their CDC registration details and verify them at cdc.org.za. If they aren't registered, they are illegal. If you are a business owner watching this unfold, pay very close attention to how much you hate these automated aggressive tactics. This is exactly how your customers feel when you use AI to spam them with generic marketing. If you want to actually connect with people and build undeniable brand trust, you have to prove you aren't a predatory robot. You need the 5-minute marketing fix to craft a deeply human story brand message that treats your customers like heroes, not targets. Stop losing sales. Download the fix now. You can get it for free in the description below, or you can go to strategicmarketingtribe.com/fix. But what about you? What is the most ridiculous, blatantly obvious AI scam call or relentless debt collection text you've ever received? I'll go first. I tried to do the right thing and officially cancel my TV license because I don't watch TV anymore. My reward? I am now relentlessly hounded by automated messages, treating me like I am an international fugitive for a service I don't even use. Okay, your turn. What is your wildest robotic threat that you've had to block? Let me know in the comments. By the way, if you liked this video, you might like this one too. It is about how South Africa's AI policy was actually written by AI. And then this is one that YouTube thinks you might like. That's it from me. I'm Vicky Sidler from the Strategic Marketing Tribe, and I post helpful news updates for small businesses every day.